Fear is very powerful emotion. It can be paralyzing and demoralizing. Many people these days are experiencing fear of living paycheck to paycheck, getting deeper into debt, losing a job or business, even financial collapse and social unrest. However, when you couple fear with a strong emotion, it becomes a constructive and powerful positive force that can help you navigate any challenges with newfound sense of purpose and urgency. And that's what we're going to talk about today with one and only Dr. Nisha that I had already a couple of conversations before. Grow your wealth, live on your terms. Hello, powerful people. Welcome to the More Money with Million show, which is kind of operating manual for creating your best rich life. I'm Million Levy's holistic financial independence mentor. Sadly, over 63% of Americans are currently living paycheck to paycheck, and more than half are making six figures or more per year. Having money doesn't make you good with money, unfortunately. And working harder not necessarily makes you freer either. If you feel tired of constant money worries and want to get control over your money so money doesn't control you, go ahead and download my wealth planner so that you get clarity, organize your financial statements, and start managing your money intentionally. It's my gift to you today. So here's the link, daretochange.life.com/wealth-plan. All right. Okay. So now let's get to my wonderful, brilliant guest today, Dr. Nisha. Welcome. Welcome back.
Good morning, Millen. As you can see, it's 7 a.m. and now the sun has just risen. So it's pouring free energy down to California. I'm going to go and put up the shade because I didn't realize it's really coming. Oh, actually, I'll just move here. There we go. Hi, Millen. Good morning.
Hi. So good to see you. Dr. Nisha, I'm so grateful that you take time to talk to me. This is the third time. And after I talked to you for the first time and then started reading your book, I was like, I have to introduce this amazing, brilliant doctor to so many people because your approach is so unique in so many ways. In the previous conversations, we talked about the power of intention. We started talking about this, right? And the fact that we are not our body, we're not our mind, we're multidimensional being and very powerful. And many people don't realize the power that they possess or have access to. So I would like to start to continue our conversation about intentions by this question that I've been asked, frankly, many times myself, and I would love to hear your point of view on this. Many people are aware of intention, right? Maybe not to the extent that we discuss here. And they use intention. They say, my intention is whatever it is. And then they repeat this and they create affirmations and many meditate and nothing happens. Mm-hmm. Why? What is the secret? What is the secret sauce, or what is the element that is missing for so many people who actually want to create something, have the intention, but it doesn't materialize or doesn't manifest for them?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So when I look at William Tiller, he gave the proof that intention is laser sharp. We have clarified that, okay? It's not like a light bulb. You have a very coherent piece of information. That's the first thing, okay? And then the other thing, and this that I have done over and over again, is, as you said, write it out, okay? Because you can hold an imaginary wish when you write it out, a different emotion comes into play. Tiller was very insistent on that. Please write it out. But here's the thing. So here's a physicist, scientist, showing that his intention can change a material aspect. Where's the energy coming from? How did it affect water in this case to change pH? And we're not talking about a little random noise. We're talking a huge signal. So that's what you're asking. How come he did it? How come I'm not showing that same thing? But I'm telling you this, by virtue of writing it and holding the intention, you are manifesting in your invisible world, a certain dynamic is taking shape. You may not see it right away, and Tiller didn't see it for several weeks, but it did work. And guess what? As he did it again, science is about reproducing the result. It happened faster and faster and faster, okay? Now, when I look at my intention journals, this is what I have found. 10 years ago, I looked at my journal, and the first thing I wrote was actually a bank balance. I wanted wealth. But what was underneath that wealth? A black dress. I wanted a black dress. What was the black dress representing? For me, Millen, it represented a sense of confidence, but what was underlying the confidence? And it came to me, two things. First, I'm Indian. I'm a woman. And in my culture, let's put it out there, okay? A woman is a drain on wealth. Girls, when they're born into an Indian family, there's no celebration. It is, ooh.
You know, I remember I had one Indian friend, and she said, my husband kind of casually said that woman is like having a luggage without the handle. I was like, what?
So there you are. I was invisible in my own family, okay, as a girl. There was no expectation, you're invisible. The black dress did something. What did it do? It brought up butterflies. When you write an intention that has great emotional meaning for you, I can promise you it will happen. So ask yourself when you're writing that intention, does it have meaning? Don't just write things. Initially, when I tell my patients this, what gives you meaning in your life? I'll tell you, most patients have never been asked that simple question. We're giving you the fast food of intention writing right there. What gives you meaning? Get an intention book, and what gives your life meaning? But here's the thing.
Can I just add here from personal experience, because you know I'm practicing what you describing, and I think that and I always just like, because maybe because of my you know training as a physicist, I have this like I need to understand why. I realized that when I write the meaning of my intention, I connect emotionally to the intention, and this emotional connection makes a difference. Would you agree with that?
I do agree with that. So when I looked at my own book, you know, bank balance, black dress, what came up also was not just confidence. When you write what is meaningful for you, you're expressing self-love. You're loving yourself. Okay, self-acceptance, loneliness, right? We're seeing it all around. We're disconnected. When you write that meaningful statement for yourself, it is a form of love. And here's what Tiller did. I asked him, when you write your intention for water, I mean, what meaningful is that? He said, no, it did. Because in my, and I'm pointing to my head, again, because it's a very ingrained habit. Yeah. He said, I gave great emotion. I imagined that pH of water to go up and down, and I loved it. Loved it. Now look at this. A physicist bridged scientific mindset with the emotion. So you're right. Love that intention. It's a living, breathing creation. It's not some dead thing on a piece of paper. It's a living story of what Milan is, of what Nisha is. So to watch that.
Love it. Just love
Yeah.
it so much because,
Yeah.
hearing from you, from the point of view of someone who studied with, really famous, established, known physicist, hearing this confirmation, how important it is to connect your emotion to the intention. It's like, for me,
Yes.
it's my heart is singing right now.
Well, and then I saw something else which I think I want to mention this. So 10 years ago I wrote Bank Balance, Black Dress, Self-Love. But what has happened is I looked at my intentions more and more as Nisha's consciousness evolved. Through the creative process, something has shifted. It happened by its own self. What has shifted now is I released my course, Rheumatoid Relief, to heal inflammation. And what was the intention behind the course? To set the people free. Set them from a path of fear about their health to a sense of freedom of, hey,
Beautiful.
you already got what it takes to succeed
Beautiful.
in your health, to succeed in your wealth. So let's talk about fear.
I just, this is just such a perfect example of intention that evolves, right? We evolve, our intentions evolve, our goals and values evolve, right? With our expansion of our own consciousness. And I would love to talk about fear and how you can not overcome, but manage, or maybe use the fear, because it's a very, very powerful emotion and very kind of natural for humans, right? How you
Yes.
can use this and reframe it in a very powerful, positive force.
Yes.
And this is a Holy Week, so today is a Passover for those of you who celebrate Passover. Sunday is Easter for those of our viewers who celebrate Easter. And I want to touch on this, how important it is. Like, for example, in case of Passover, Jews left Egypt where they were enslaved by Pharaoh, and they had to overcome their fear of unknown.
Yes.
And isn't it, in order to get to this land that was promised to them by God? So isn't it what many people experience these days, the fear of unknown, with financial system, with economy, with global unrest, etc.? Isn't it what many, many people, I have goosebumps, experience right now? And we have to find way, positive force that will help us to overcome this, or to I use word reframe it.
Yes.
You have a very strong negative emotion for fear, but you can definitely repurpose it
Oh,
into become a
absolutely.
positive force.
It's something I do at the bedside. Okay, so I have patients who are referred to rheumatology, immune disease, and I can tell you they're fearful, they're frightened, and sometimes literally shaking. Okay, so here's what I do, because fear in the body is a sympathetic overdrive. Your heart rate is up, your blood pressure is up, your sugars are messed up, your pupils are large and dilated. No, it's absolutely, when I'm at the bedside, I know what's going on. So here's what I do first. Call this first aid for fear, okay? So I gently show them how to take their own pulse, okay, on the radial pulse. This is what you can do, all right? And then I
I'm
ask
doing
them,
it right now with you,
do it now,
following you.
yeah. So what they want to do is breathe, but not just any. Deep breathing is good, but I want to lead your viewers to one specific type of breathing, which will take them from the sympathetic overdrive into a very relaxed and coherent state, okay? What you want to do is breathe in for 4, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. That's it. In fact, even as I say it, it's hard to speak because I go into that relaxation and I have to energize myself back to be with Millen. Breathe in for 4, hold for 7, and out for 8. Breathe in for 4, hold for 7, and exhale through your mouth for 8. And when they're doing their pulse, I can tell they go, oh, doctor, my heart rate. And their face changes. So from this sympathetic overdrive, now they're in this, incoherent, chaotic state. Now they're in a coherent, relaxed state of mind. Look at the shift that happens very quickly. And guess what? As you said, fear is an enormous source of energy. From the chaos, it's now coherent. It reveals itself as a gift. Now you can take your intention book and you can say, what is meaningful in my life? Am I going to purchase that home? Am I going to invest in this? You have discernment in your choices. So you're not bouncing around in a reactive form. You have from this sympathetic to the parasympathetic drive recontextualize. Now, fear is a great gift. You've evolved and transcended that because it doesn't drive you anymore. And you're right. You have transmuted that power into something very meaningful. Now you have you've overcome and taken control of it.
I love so much what you just described. Let me just make sure, and I want to summarize it for our viewers. So when you experience fear, or when you have to make important decision, whether it's investment, whether it's a health related or relationship related, before you do anything, just follow this breathing technique that Dr. Nisha shared. Once you feel calm and kind of neutral, you don't have to be excited, but neutral, peaceful, right? That's the best time to write your intention. Did I get it?
Exactly.
Right?
So okay. Now you have the fear gives way to a creative power. It was always there. Like the sun.
And then once you write the intention, that's when you really ask yourself why it's important to me. And that's when the emotional connection to your intention comes into place, right?
Yes, exactly. Okay. But I want to share one more thing because we're in Easter week.
Yeah.
That came to me. It was so powerful and so uplifting. Tiller, when he used to write his intentions, he added one sentence. This physicist wrote, "Thy will be done." Millen, I thought it was poetic. Very nice, nice, nice. It was not until the manuscript my editor wrote, "Nisha, this is the Lord's Prayer." And suddenly, this physicist, who is excellent linear science, joined science and spirit in a protocol. I ask your viewers, do the 4-7-8 breathing, get clear, write it out, get butterflies in your stomach if you must, and then write, show me the truth in this intention, O Lord. Thy will be done. I'm getting goosebumps now. Okay. So when you do that, it's like saying, Amen. You are joining. Your intention is living, breathing, spiritual creation. You're in the image of God. You are consciousness itself. Can there be anything greater? Because Easter week is a week of renewal, of new things. So use this time. Fly on the wings that Christ has shown us.
Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. Like I feel that now you speak poetically. Like this is like a poem that she just speaks like that. Yeah. Beautiful, beautifully said. And is there any kind of, today is our final interview with you, and I'm infinitely grateful for this opportunity to share your wisdom and experience with my audience. Are there any parting words that you would like to share? I mean, you said so much very, very important things today. Anything that kind of like that you would like to add to what already was said, to give people who may be concerned or fear uncertainty? I think uncertainty is one of the biggest things that people afraid of. Give them some hope of renewal.
Well, you know, Melon, human being is is the pinnacle of nature, of creation, and know that. So regardless of the outer conditions, you have all that it takes to take back control. Do that for your own individual life. And guess what happens? You're part of the consciousness field. Every time you write that meaningful intention with that heartfelt, emotion, you raise the sea for everyone. All the corks float higher. This is the power of prayer. It's not lost. You're pumping the field for everyone. That's very important. We think ourselves just, what difference do I make? Yes, you do. You are the chosen one. You are the chosen one. Can I see it any other way?
No, that's the most beautiful words you could use to say as our parting words for this 3-part series. And those of you who haven't, thank you so much. And I just want to remind those of you who haven't watched the previous interviews of this 3-part series with Dr. Nisha, I highly invite you and suggest that you watch them, because there is a very deep and powerful wisdom and tips that Dr. Nisha shared. And thank you so much again for your time, for your wisdom, for sharing the tips that I am confident will help many people if they choose to apply them. And thank you to everybody who is watching us live or in recording, for your time and for your wisdom to pay attention to what we discussed during these interviews.